Strategic alliances, they can be one of the most powerful tools in business, for sure. But let's be honest, they're also super tricky to get right. So today, we're going to crack the code. We're breaking down a really simple but powerful four-step framework, the why, what, who, and how to build partnerships that don't just survive, but actually succeed. But first, let's just get this out of the way. Why do we even need a framework? Well, because more than half of all business partnerships fail. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a high-stakes game. And that's exactly why having a proven playbook isn't just a nice-to-have. It's an absolute must.
So, where do we start this journey? Well, every single successful alliance begins with a crystal-clear understanding of its purpose. Before you even think about who to partner with or how you're going to structure the deal, you have to know your why.
Okay, so the first possible mission is to form a coalition. You can think of this as strength in numbers. This is when companies, sometimes even competitors, team up. Why? To create a new industry standard, maybe, or just gain massive market reach. You know, like when a bunch of tech companies all agree to use the same charging port. The goal is simple. Get bigger, cut costs, and do it by pooling what you've got. Next up, we have co-specialization. Now, this is all about synergy. It's not just about getting bigger, it's about creating something totally new that neither partner could possibly build on their own. Just imagine a high-end fashion designer partnering with a tech company to create a line of smart clothing. They're combining their totally unique strengths to invent a whole new product category. That's co-specialization. And the third mission is learning. It's that simple. You know, sometimes the most valuable thing you can get from a partner isn't market share or a new product, it's knowledge. This kind of alliance is all about acquiring new skills or technology from a partner who's a leader in their field, basically fast-tracking your own development. All right, so once you really nailed down your why, your mission, the next logical step is to figure out the what. This is all about choosing the right structure, the right type of alliance for the job. And of course, that's going to flow directly from the strategic goal you just set. And it turns out we can map pretty much any international alliance using just two simple dimensions. It all boils down to two questions. First, what's the scope? Are we thinking global or local? And second, what's the object? Are you chasing a new market or are you after specific capabilities? Let's see how these two things combine. So if your goal is market access and you're thinking on a global scale, you're building what's called a global reach alliance. Think about two airlines from totally different continents. They agree to sell tickets on each other's flights. They aren't sharing tech or anything complex. They're just giving each other easy access to their home markets. Okay, now what if we keep that global scope, but we shift the focus over to capabilities? Well, then you have a global leverage alliance. This is super common for really complex R&D projects, where companies pull the best scientists and technology from all over the world to tackle a huge challenge, like, say, developing a new vaccine.
Now let's zoom in a bit and narrow the scope to local. If your main goal is getting into one specific country's market, you're looking at the classic alliance for country market entry. This is often a joint venture where a big international company partners with a local expert who knows how to navigate all the local rules and cultural quirks.
And our final type is the Alliance for Country Resources Access. So the scope is local and the object is capabilities. This isn't about selling to the country, it's about accessing something unique within it. It could be a car manufacturer partnering with a local firm to access a rare earth metal mine, or a tech company setting up a joint lab to work with a region's top AI talent.
Phew. Okay, we've covered the why, the mission, and the what, the type of alliance. But now we get to what might be the most critical part of the whole equation, the who. Choosing the right partner can literally make or break this entire thing. And trust me, it goes way deeper than just looking at their financial statements. So here's the million-dollar question. What does your potential partner really want out of this? See, we can group these hidden motivations into four main agendas. There's venturing, which is about building something new. Extractive, which is gaining a specific asset. Sharing, which is pooling resources to be more efficient. And finally, option, which is really just a wait-and-see approach to keep future possibilities open. The key is their agenda aligned with yours? This matrix here shows you exactly how those agendas can play out. It's pretty obvious, right? If both partners have a venturing agenda, they both want to build a new business, that's a perfect fit. But look what happens if one of you wants to venture and the other just wants an option. That's a huge problem right from day one. You absolutely have to make sure your core motivations are in sync.
In that strategic agenda, it's just one piece of the puzzle. A truly great partnership needs what we call a four-dimensional fit. Beyond strategy and capabilities, you need company cultures that actually get along and organizational structures that can physically work together day to day. A mismatch in any one of these areas can sink the whole ship.
Okay, so you know your mission. You've picked the right alliance type, and you've found a partner that has that four-dimensional fit. Fantastic. But how do you actually do it? How do you execute? This is the how, the practical blueprint for bringing it all to life.
The blueprint for execution is actually a really logical four-stage process. First, you define your own strategy. Then, you assess the partner's fit. And here's the key. Only after you've confirmed that fit do you move to negotiation and design. And finally, you shift into implementation, where the real work of making it all happen begins.
And this quote, honestly, it just captures the whole flow perfectly. The goal is to move from shaping expectations at the very beginning to identifying potential issues with your partner, then setting the agreement, and finally achieving real, tangible results.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that a successful alliance isn't just a single transaction, it's a disciplined journey. By systematically defining your why, choosing your what, finding the right who, and executing the how, you transform partnership from a total game of chance into a strategic discipline. You know, in today's world, collaboration isn't just some nice option. It really is the future of growth and innovation. So, with this framework in your back pocket, the only question left to ask is, who will be your next great ally? Thanks so much for joining me.